What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net, and behind me you are going to see a beautiful 2004 Lincoln Town Car, offering to you this week a beautiful 70,000 mile example of this last generation town car. I'm going to do a full walk around video of this car. Going to show you the outside, the inside, point out any little minor defects or blemishes here with my little pointer. Take it for a road test. Bring it back to the shop, put it up in the air, tell you all the service work we did to this car to make this car a turnkey town car. Give you all the details, price, phone number right here in this video. Let's get into it. You want me, huh? And here she is, a gorgeous silver Birch silver over a black leather interior with a black canvas top. 2004 Lincoln Town Car. This is the executive series, so this is kind of like the entry level or base version of the town car that then, as I'm going to show you, got dressed up by the selling dealer when this car was new, and they dolled this thing up. And it's kind of funny, the Lincoln dealer that is actually local to me that sold this car down in Rhode Island is Tasca Lincoln Mercury. They were pretty well known for dressing their Grand Marquis and town cars up with this specific style cloth top or vinyl top. But you can see it coming down the A-pillar there. Almost every one of them that they did was like that. They even went so far as to custom making the emblems you'll see on the rear C-pillars to name them the Custom Tasca Edition. It's funny, I get people sometimes that get cars like this, or I see people with cars like this, and they say, oh, mine's a one of so many made from custom, from Tasca. It was a special edition Ford did, and I chuckle because some people think that this is like actually like limited production numbers. Yeah, it's limited because the dealer put this on only so many cars, but it's not like it's a rare thing to find. I mean, I guess it's, hard to find a custom Tasca edition, but the presidential editions, the Cosmopolitans, all those were dealer add-on accessory kits that the selling dealers did. They usually did the tops, they did the wheel arch trim, the pillars, the rocker trim, gold plating emblems, stuff like that. But this dealer did so many of them that they went one step further and to actually name the edition after their dealership. It even had on the trunk lid above the town car emblems, it said CTE, which would have stood for Custom Tasca Edition. I ended up taking off, the letters were kind of tarnished. I thought it would look kind of cheesy, and most people probably would never even put two and two together. So I like that nice clean look you can see here. So it's a beautiful silver birch, higher mileage for what I typically have. This car's got like 71,000 miles, I believe. 71,000. We'll take a look when we get inside. But it was a really nice car, good looking car, and it kind of opens up a little bit different of a price point that I normally deal with when I'm dealing with my 40, 50,000 mile cars, 20,000 mile cars, or sub 20,000 mile cars. This is a real nice driver. It's in great shape. I shipped this car up out of Florida, so it started life in Rhode Island at Tasca Lincoln Mercury. That's where it was sold new at. It was serviced most of its life there. Around 2014, this car migrated down south to Florida, where it had lived since 14, and then it was traded in at Tasca Buick GMC. I honestly don't know if they're affiliated. I would think so, but no, I don't think for any specific reason. Maybe they were loyal to the dealership, I guess, and they traded in at Tasca Buick GMC, which is where I bought the car from. I bought it. It was a trade-in of theirs. We went through this car, serviced it like I always do, extensively. Tires, brakes, tons of suspension work, air suspension, did a lot of stuff, even did some trim work on like the door panels, replacement door handles. We made this car, ready to go again. And that's what I pride myself on with these with all my cars basically, is quality in the product you're getting. Not all used cars are created equal. It all depends on what you're getting, what you're buying, and how it was serviced. So we'll go through some of that service stuff in just a minute. You can see here the Custom Tasca, CTE, Custom Tasca Edition. I thought that was pretty cool. And that was probably an upcharge that they did back at the dealership. You know, they might have put an MSRP like sticker addendum on it, and you know, they could have charged $5,000 for that. You know, they take a car like this, not maybe like a loss leader, but a baser car. You take a silver over black car, you add all the gingerbread, as I call it, and it totally changes the look of the car. And you know, makes people think that they're getting you know, a fancy special edition. They actually even had a painted pinstripe down the side, which I did take off because it was starting to show spots where it was worn off from, you know, being on there its entire life. All right, so without further ado and blabbing, I got my pointer here. I'm gonna go around the car. I'm gonna point out just a few little minor chips and nicks and touch-ups and whatnot. Really all just careless nana marks, as I'd call them, you know, little scratches here and there. Hood is in really nice shape. Looks like, oh, no, just some dust, I guess. Looks good, no dents or anything like that I can notice. Front headlights, pretty clean. They are the original capsules. You can see a little bit of minor kind of light crazing if you kind of get up on it, right up on the, like, maybe upper surfaces. They're regular halogen bulbs. You can see it looks like something scratched the bumper here, and then maybe just scratched the light right there. Aside from that, all you see is just a few little minor bug chips and stuff on the front end. Grill looks good, no wrinkling or anything like that. Nothing crazy to speak of there. Front license plate bracket. I do have another one of these gold Lincoln plate frames at my shop. I forgot to put it back on the back, but this car came in with those gold Lincoln frames, so I will include them with it. This headlight, same thing. Nice shape. You know, just a little bit of, you know, really not even, well, you know, you can see a little bit of crazing. Front bumper over here looks good. Little scuff right there. Little chip right there. Come up over the hood. Again, beautiful silver. Nice reflection in the paint. I elected not to restripe this car. I don't know why, because I couldn't just find a good black stripe that I liked. And I actually kind of like it without the stripe. The stripe that was on the car was a really thin, double line thin, like super thin, like thinnest that I've ever seen. Looks like I missed a little bit of wax down there. Thinnest I've ever seen, and I don't know. I couldn't duplicate it, and the only stripe I had was a little thicker. So with the black top coming down the A-pillar, I thought this was enough. A little chip right there in the driver's fender with the chrome rocker kit. Stainless wheel arches, alloy wheels. You can see a little bit of corrosion on the center cap. It's real common for these wheels. You can see, you know, just some minor corrosion marks on the face of the spokes there. Wrapped in brand new white wall tires, of course. I did see we got the original Carlite windshield. Black canvas top is in really nice shape. Obviously a garage car to show this well all these years later. You know, no moss or anything growing on it, no seams coming apart, nothing. You know, really looks good. And again, with that Custom Tasca edition. Looks like a scuff that was touched up right here on the corner of the mirror. No dings or anything like that. Got the keyless entry keypad here. No scratches or anything like that. All aside, no chips there. Oh, got an after hours delivery, it looks like. Couple little chips here on this door edge. Little guy right there. Again, same thing, you can see in the center cap, a little bit of light corrosion. It's just starting. Unfortunately, real common with those center caps on these cars for them to do that. Beautiful bright silver paint. Around the bumper here, looks good. Oh, just a little bit of dust. There are a few little chips here that, I don't know, maybe there was another decal over here. The CTE decal, the custom Tasca emblem, was over there. I don't know what was over here, but you'll see more touch up on the other side, but it looks like they kind of just dabbed a few little chips there. This rear license plate surround, really nice shape. You can see no stress cracking. Just a few little water spots apparently from me, and maybe a few little light scratches, but really surprised how nice this is. All the way around, even the gray, it looks good. A few little light scratches right there on the top of the bumper. One thing I will point out, and I forgot to mention in the last video of the 05, was these rear parking sensors do not work. It's common on these cars, the 03, 4, and 5s, to fail. The module, it's not the sensors that don't work, it's the module that goes right behind the bumper. And up until about 6 months ago, I could still buy brand new modules aftermarket, but identical replicas, plug in and that system would work. When I first started replacing these things years ago, they were like $250 for the module. Price kept creeping and creeping over the years. The last two that I bought were over $550 a piece. And I figured when they were getting so expensive that they were going to be discontinuing them. I unfortunately now don't have any of them. I've used them up, the last two that I had, and I haven't found a replacement. I have all my old ones that I've removed. I'm going to try to find someone who can rebuild them maybe. But yeah, so I cannot no longer replace those to get that system working. Almost every 03, 4, and 5 that fails unless you get the, replacement version. So I forgot to mention it. I had to put it in text in the video afterwards when I was editing the video, but I wanted to mention that now that I'm fresh on my mind. Taillights all look good. Paint on the deck lid looks fantastic. The emblem, nice deep color in that. Here looks good. Top again, nice. Probably some dusty handprints from wiping this car down a dozen times. This wheel arch, well, you can see a little bit of light scuffing right on that kind of edge right there, and a little ding right there. And then you'll see where Nana took some touch-up paint and kind of blotched some paint on there. Yeah, again, what I'd say is typical Nana marks. And then you'll see this wheel, you got some minor corrosion just starting underneath the face. We have any chips or anything, nothing on the edge of the door there. This one looks pretty good, maybe a couple little guys right there. Light scratch right there, you can kind of see faintly. And another light scratch right there, and then another Nana touch-up right there. Surprisingly, this mirror made it unscathed. Usually the mirrors, you see them all scuffed up on these from going in and out of garages. This wheel arch looks good. This wheel, probably the nicest out of them all as far as corrosion, but still a little bit on the center caps. See there. Anyways, that's the car on the outside. I'm gonna do an interior walkthrough after this truck goes by me, and we're going to then we'll take it for a spin. All right, going on the inside. See that beautiful black interior. Now, silver on black is not a common color on these. Seems to be a little bit more common in the earlier 03, 04, 5. But as you got later, it seemed to be very uncommon. I can count probably on one hand how many silver with black interior cars I've had. Whereas you compare like a white with beige, I don't have enough hands to count that. I love white and beige. Me personally, I'm not as much of a black interior guy. I like lighter color interiors. But the rarity, which is kind of odd because, town cars, you picture black interior usually with black exterior, so you would have thought the black was just the more popular choice. But I think most older folks like that lighter interior, like that light parchment. So to see one with silver and black is really sharp because you just don't see it often. Add the black top to it, and yeah, now we're talking. All right, inside the door jamb here, you can see exterior paint IP, which is silver birch. Birth date on this car is 9 of 03. Inside the door jamb, see, nice and clean. A little bit of paint wear, kind of right on that crown right there, but all good. We got the door lock strikers all present. All the weather stripping, rubber, all looks good all the way throughout here. Door pull handle. It's got a couple little chips of, you know, I don't know, the layering coming off, and you can see, you know, some light scratching on the wood tone, kind of a little bit of haziness there. Excuse me, I don't know where these hiccups come from. Kind of common to see on some of the Florida cars. You kind of get that like weird haziness to it. Those open fine. All new door handles. Well, I replaced all those. It does have this piece of paper stuck. It's like stuck in this door pocket, like in between the two, this panel and like the inner panel. And I don't want to really squeeze a screwdriver down there and try to break it. Like I don't want. I'm afraid of breaking the door panel. So somehow that got trapped in there. Black leather looks good. A little bit of wear, kind of you can see right there. Nothing torn or anything, but just a little bit of color wear. But overall, very nice. Leather's nice, soft, supple. A couple little scratches there, and a little bit right there as well. I do like the seats in this, just like that 05 that I sold, which was the Signature. They changed trim names through the years, but these pleated seats I think are the most comfortable. And this car doesn't have heated seats, so I think without the heated seats, with this pleated design, are the most comfortable seats. Similar to the Devilles of this same era. You know, when you got the car without heated seats, especially later when you got the heated and cooled seats, the seats are just so stiff. I just always thought that was a more, you know, comfortable, thicker padding. I'm not sure. Less stuff in there. Nice clean in the jams. And all the weather stripping and everything looks good. Little dust inside the, again, all new door handles. I did all the door handles. These panels and then the handles come as an assembly. It's common to see where this little cap is, there's a screw in there. It's like a Torx 30. What happens over time, someone grabs these handles too strong, these plastics break apart. And two, I think the front two were damaged. Usually people put like bigger washers on them. So I got a set of 4. I just did all 4 because of the front two. I did the back ones anyways. Not super difficult to do. Rear carpet all looks good. Headliner, really nice shape. Rear package tray looks good. Back seat leather looks good. Pull this guy down. You got the 2 little cup holders there. Again, nice leather is in good shape. All the carpeting all looks good. Gaskets and everything, all super nice. Even in here, common to see that start to, but yeah, especially for a Florida car. I don't know why I keep rubbing it and getting dust and things. So the back here, again, real nice. The wood is nice on these back door panels here. And all these gaskets are in super nice shape all the way around. Striker bushing is all good. Some here. Bottom. It's good. door pull handles, real nice. Leather on this side looks good. Maybe a little bit of dryness, like in the grain. I mean, it's still very soft. It's not like it's gonna tear, but like, even side, this seat saw a little bit of sun. Yeah, you can see how like smoother this is, and maybe it's just the leather. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, it's weird. The inner part is a little bit smoother than the outer parts. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a different leather. You have here a dual flip open center console. Yeah, carpeting. This is one of my reasons I don't like black. All the little crumbs just from your feet or whatever. I'm riding in it. All right, let's go around, jump behind the wheel. All right, behind the wheel, and now is the time when I like to show you what I got for keys and books. In this case, I got 2 keys, 2 fobs, and I do have the books. Let's start it up here. Put the key in. It was like 71,886 miles. I have the books. I don't know what happened to the, like that black case that usually they're in, but I have all the books. Even I got the little key code for the door, and then this is a Tasca maintenance book. But I don't know where a binder like that would go. AM, FM, in-dash, CD. We have AC. I will put that in your auto diag mode. Pop this guy out. Looks good. Ashtrays look good. Non-smoker's car for sure. All the buttons on the steering wheel look really good. A little bit of wear, you can see on the fan one. Kind of just some blotchiness on the airbag, like I don't know if like the finish of the material, it's like kind of, I don't know, you can kind of see it blotchy. It's not sticky or anything, but you can see that passed its test. 71,886 miles. The other thing that I know does not work on this car is the power pedals. They move a little bit. Typical that the little gear, the little worm gear that spins in those break. I don't typically replace them because, you know, unless the pedals are all the way out or all the way in. In this case, I think they're in a really comfortable position. We'll pop the trunk, pop the hood. Grab a little doohickey there. You can see pretty clean and tidy in here. Like I said, this car lived in Rhode Island from new until 14, sold new at Tasca, and then it migrated south down to the, I think, Sebastian, Florida area, where it was then traded in at Tasca in Melbourne. You can see the new struts in the front. We'll go through all the stuff that I've done to it, but I mean, there's a few spots where you can see nuts and bolts where there's a little bit of corrosion, although these things are fine. It's weird, like some nuts and bolts have corrosion, but like look at how nice the brake lines are and everything. Tidy and clean under here for the most part. AAA battery. Did just do a fresh oil change. We resealed the cowl, of course, we do that on all of them. You know, a little bit of corrosion there. Nothing crazy though. We'll get back to the shop and we'll show you the bottom side of it. Now this has a power release trunk, but it doesn't have the power opening and closing. That would have been on like a Signature Limited or an Ultimate of this generation. But it does have the soft close power pull down feature. You can see all the trim surround, gasketing, all looks good all the way around. You have your quarter mounted spare. I don't know what happened to the front floor mats. When this car came in, it had these rubber like WeatherTech style mats in the front, and then the original carpeted in the rear. You have a fuel door release, air suspension shut-off switch. Do the soft close on this. Soft close works. All right, now let's take it for a spin. All right, now let's take it for a spin. Take it up the highway real quick. And then back to the shop, we'll put it in the air. See, leather wrap wheel is in pretty nice shape. Maybe a little bit of light wear here. but overall I'd say it looks pretty good. Power seat works, all your windows. It's just the driver's automatic down. Sounds like those back ones haven't been down in a hot minute. All right, let's put her in gear. And away we go. Reflection check. Looking good. Beautiful day out today. Excellent day to get out and do some pictures before the sun goes down. We have had like super hot and humid days lately that hinders our production here at the shop because I don't have AC in the shop. But a day like today, to be able to drive with the window down and getting like actual fresh air instead of just being totally swamped by either hot humid air or air conditioning, love me a little bit of fresh air. So let's take this back. We'll go up to up on the highway, test the cruise control, all that stuff. And when I get it on the lift, I'll go over the extensive repairs. I mean, we did a lot of stuff. The last thing that I had to do to this car that is kind of common on these, I've had to do it, I don't know, 2 or 3 times before, is have this instrument cluster sent out to be not refurbished, but there's like solder joints, I think they call them, in these 2 winged displays, the LED or LCD displays you can see. And it's common on these 0304 and 05 has this cluster, that these outer displays will start to flicker and intermittently, like, you know, go on and off, and it's like a solder contact in there that I guess starts to go bad. And I had put a few hundred miles on this car and I never noticed it do that. And my last final road test I had with it, I brought it home and I brought it back, and on my way back to the shop I saw this. As soon as I pulled onto my street, I saw this kind of just start to flicker. I said, oh man, perfect timing, but unfortunately it delayed me 2 weeks because I had to take the cluster out, send it out to a refurbisher. They refurbish it or resolder, flow the solder joints. I don't know. I'm not an electronics wizard like that. And then they send it back and it works good as new. All the original, you know, information, mileage and stuff stays on there. Just fixing those solder joints to get the AC. Just get this on real low though. You know, just to get that, I don't know, contact, I guess that's probably what it is. What goes bad on these. All right. Get her up on the highway. Anybody wants to get in contact with me about this car, 978-930-1004 is my phone number, and the website, specialtymotorcars.net. You can go over and check out all the still pictures. Like I always tell my customers, don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this in your driveway. I'm in Pelham, New Hampshire, physically located. That's where my dealership is right now. We're jumping on the highway here in Salem, New Hampshire. But I can ship this car anywhere to you. I shipped it out of Florida. You need me to ship it to Texas, you need me to ship it to Chicago, I'll even help you in overseas shipping. I actually have a car right now waiting to go to Germany. So it happens. This truck gonna try to pass me? No? Oh, no, okay, changing lanes. Thank you. Get her up on the highway, we'll hit on, and we're gonna set Excel, and then you can see the speed control indicator, and she's holding 67 miles an hour. Beautiful. Off that, and the radio on. Those work. Skip through the modes. Temperature, fan goes up and down. temperature. That works perfectly as well. Things that I don't test, I've actually had a lot more people ask me this recently. So if like I test a cassette deck with a CD, I don't, honestly. I never do that because I don't carry. See, I don't even have CDs. Definitely don't have any cassettes, and I'm gonna be the last one to stick a cassette in there and like get it jammed up in there. So I don't test cassettes or CDs. But speaking about testing things, let's bring it back to the shop. I'm going to teleport back in time, show you the bottom side of this car. All right, bottom side of the 2004 Lincoln Town Car, the Silver Executive. Did front struts in this car, both sides. You can see new upper control arms, new upper ball joints, front pads, rotors. Front pads, rotors, same thing on this side. Did a fresh Ford Motorcraft oil change. Coming down here, you can see a pretty clean car. This car did spend some life, its early part of its life up in New England, but very, very clean underneath because then it retired down to Florida, I assume with its snowbird owners. In the back here, we did new rear airbags. You can see the new Arnott bags on both sides up there. All four upper and the lower rear control arms. Somebody had already put replacement rear shocks in here. We did do new pads and rotors. Calipers and hoses, again, are also pretty fresh. It actually had really nice rear pads and rotors, but they were squeaking, so we put new pads and rotors in there. Let's see up there, those new airbags all the way around. And then, like I said, control arms, both sides. This is the first time I ever had to replace these control arms. I'll show you what came out of it. You can see the bushing there. Technically, it really only needed the upper, these small ones, because you can see these upper ones are fine. But yeah, both sides were like this, pretty well smoked. So that's the 2004. Oh, four tires as well. 2004 Lincoln Town Car. Any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. Thanks. And there you have it. That's the bottom side of the 04. Relatively clean car and extensive repairs. The tires, the brakes, airbags, trailing arms, upper control arms, all that stuff. The door handles, the instrument cluster, all stuff that, I try to go above and beyond to make these cars as nice as I can. Bring them back and get them done and refurbished so they're turnkey, ready to go for the next owner. Any questions, 978-930-1004. Thanks everybody for watching my videos here. Check me out on YouTube. You are on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram, Specialty Motor Cars NH, Facebook as well. Price point on this car, going to be $11,995. Again, any questions, 978-930-1004. My name is Anthony. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments of this custom Tasca edition. And I don't ask often, but I will, because I'm getting close to that 100,000 mark, and I'm probably going to be on 100,000 spree. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, just a subscribe, a like, a thumbs up, a comment. You guys know it. All the other YouTubers out there ask for it. And I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but I do have a goal, and I want to get to that 100,000 subscriber mark. So if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate you sticking around for my next series of videos where I get town cars like this, I get Cadillacs like this. You can go back and check out some of my old videos. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you on the next one.